Right then, Leny Yoro's here. One of the most exciting prospects in football right now and seemingly being tipped as one of the best young French centre-halves around. What makes him stand out? Well, he's a bit of a unicorn, actually, for a centre-half because most centre-halves who break through early are very refined talents because they play with such maturity and they play like a veteran. And while Yoro is mature, certainly out of possession for the most part, on the ball, he's actually fairly raw. But I still think his potential is genuinely sky high. Now, I think United will go with either the 3-1-6, because that's what we sort of seen Ten Hag do at Ajax, or the 3-2-5 when we're in sustained possession. Now, some people mix that up and think we're not going to play a 3-1-6 as a formation. No, it won't be as a formation. But when you occupy the ball in opposition halves, that's the sort of shape that you're looking for from the players to be able to counter-press, to be able to maintain and rotate and recycle possession, and to be able to create opportunities and overload in certain areas of the pitch. So that's not your formation, that's the shape. And you play 4-4-2 out of possession, it's not your formation, it is your shape. So that's what you're looking for from the pitch. You might, on paper, be a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 because they're very similar. And you can still rock a 3-2-5 in possession and a 4-4-2 out of possession. So that's generally how we're going to do it. Now, that's the sort of shape that I think we will see from Ten Hag once he's got all the profile of players to be able to do it successfully. Now, with the profile of players that we have in the right wing option, such as Ahmad, Sancho, Antony, they're players that work best in the half space. So coming inside, you need someone that's going to push on and provide a little bit of width, or a bit of a willing runner that's going to drag somebody out into the wing area, and then those wingers can pop inside, try and link play and make something happen with a bit of combination and agility and that, right? Now, I think that means that that's where Dalot works, because he's going to be a little bit of an auxiliary right winger at times as that wide forward pops into the half space, giving you, that sort of rotation in that area. And that's what brings us back to Yoro. So if United are looking then with a back three as their rest defence, Yoro's perfect being the outside centre-half because he's got the ability and the physicality to be a real monster of a channel defender, covering the side that Dalot will frequently vacate. Now, it's also a risk because if he doesn't hit the speed of the Premier League and the physicality of the Premier League quickly, he could get exposed in that. I think he's going to be okay, but I think he will also improve in those areas in a big way. So what we'll see is, as Dalot pushes forward, it's going to allow Luke Shaw the opportunity to be able to tuck in as the left side centre-half, a position that he's done pretty well. It suits him quite nice. He doesn't need to offer the width on that far side because the left wingers of Garnacho and Rashford are almost the opposite sort of profile as the players on the right wing, and they're going to hug that touchline real nice. So it means that we're better at providing the width in those areas, and we don't require them to be tucking inside or the fullback to be overlapping in the same kind of way. It's a bit of an asymmetric trait, but it works for us. Right, lads, gather round. You have heard me banging on about Manscaped for ages, mainly discussing the virtues of a well-trimmed ball bag. But today we're going to move a little bit north and something that you might have actually seen, my beard. Manscaped isn't just a master of below-the-belt grooming. They have conquered beard territory too. And I know this is groundbreaking news. Let's delve into the details. Now, we are all well acquainted with Manscaped's brilliance for the downstairs department. They've been many a saviour of many a date night and many a ball bag. And you know the Lawnmower 4.0 by now. I'm not going to tell you about any of the features for it because if you don't know them, then you're never going to know them, right? It's a certified hero for the nether regions. But they're here for the beards now as well, and they've got the beard hedger. It is a cordless miracle worker that is both tough and gentle. It takes down facial forests in a single stroke. It's got 20 different lengths of settings. It gives you the power to totally customize your beard without cluttering up the bathroom and having a million different attachments. Now, they've also got another member of the band, and it's the Handyman. That is a dual-sided foil razor that has got your back, whether it's your face, whether you're going clean shaven or just tidying up a little bit around the neck. It is the epitome of comfort in the shaving world, and it's got a seamless and nick-free experience. So listen, if you want to give your beard the VIP treatment that it absolutely deserves, get over to manscaped.com, use the special code Howson. You're going to get 20% off and free shipping. And while you're grooming the jewels, let's not neglect the crown. With Manscaped, who said beauty had to be a pain? Let's keep it neat and tidy, top to bottom. Now, if we look at what the attributes are that Leny Yoro brings, he's got like a light-footedness that allows him to turn. You talk about some players looking like they're turning like a bus. He's got agility and he's got a fleet of foot, which means that he gets on the turn nice and quickly. So if a ball's quickly boshed over the top, he can deal with it, he can get on it, it's not a problem for him. You combine that with like genuine raw pace, the tackling, the dueling, the intelligence to be able to direct an attacker one way. He's a very, very difficult defender to beat 1v1. And he's a superb box defender. He scans frequently, which is a real indicator of how good a player is. He keeps track of his runners, his positions. He anticipates things really appropriately. And he's a stopper. Like some of the highlight tackles you see him, he's fucking mullering people. You know, he tackles. So he tackles players when they've got their back to goal. He comes smashing through them. He's also got real long legs, so he can just get a toe on stuff, knocking it out. The reading of the game is real intelligent. And as the cover, he uses that awareness, that positional sense, the timing, the pace, and actually the long legs to be able to recover if we get nailed on the transition. He defends using high IQ sort of cues. Like there's an intelligence and an awareness and a cleverness about what he does. He isn't someone that just relies solely on physicality, and he's got the frame to grow into an absolute unit as well. Now, when he's on the ball, he's pretty composed. He's got confidence in high-pressure situations. You would call him press-resistant. And he's got a technical ability to be able to dribble past people that are coming to press him. So, strong passing, excellent in the short, medium, and the long passes, really intelligent. You know, he's capable of having that Van Dijk sort of diag to a winger or to an overlapping fullback. And his development has been absolutely rapid. His positioning, his timing, it's really improved with the exposure to senior football. All the things that are becoming like very essential for a centre-half. But while he's not necessarily aerially dominant, I think he's become more physical as he got older. And he's going to become even more physical as he gets even older and gets on a decent strength and conditioning program. And with the ball, he's not especially aggressive. But no one gets to play under Paulo Fonseca without being good in possession. And obviously he's in the exact same boat as that. He's safe rather than adventurous, meaning, and that's to me where I get the Varane kind of vibes of it. Varane can go past you, Varane, or could, and can play a line splitting ball, but he tends not to. He tends to just keep it quite chill, and I don't mind that in all honesty. At Lille, it's often been Alexandro, the Brazilian, that was the more sort of progressive with the ball, the one that was more likely to take risks. And with Martinez having that sort of ability at United, I think he's the one that would replicate that kind of dynamic with him. Either way, this is a seriously exciting prospect. And, you know, I see opposition fans are immediately getting on the front foot and being like, we've overpaid again. It's the same old with United. The bottom line is Real Madrid wanted this guy to continue doing the sorts of things that we've seen them do with Vinicius and Tchouaméni and Camavinga. He's a hell of a prospect. They saw the second coming of Varane in him the same way we have. And we've managed to get him in there, probably because we've shown more desire to get him over the line. But the bottom line is he's a Manchester United player, and we're going to see a lot out of him. And even though he's not going to hit his peak for, 6 or 7 years, we've got a competent player on our hands right now with a potential to be a world-class player. So very, very exciting prospect. Can't wait to see what he does in a United shirt. Think we've got an absolute gem on our hands here. And that's the one, man. I think he slots in exactly into what we're looking for. The way Ten Hag wants to play with and without the ball, I think he works. And like he is just getting a young version of Varane, right down to him being bleeding French. So, you know, we've had some pretty good French players here. Let's hope he can live up to the standards that have been set by some of his predecessors. Because he's a good kid, and I can't wait to see him get going. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.